Good morning, all. I'm trying something different this week. Rather than typing my normal emails, I thought I'd try this. I don't know if it's called a podcast. I'm just holding my phone in my hand um, from sunny South Africa here at the moment. If you see in the background, you might see some elephants because we're quite near the Kruger Park. But basically, my plan is to just talk through my weekly post rather than type it. Checking my new eyes out. They're just some of these Dischem glasses, so hopefully they work okay. I just want to say the site is still very busy. Thanks for all the inputs from the clan members, the African Betting Clan. And I just want to say that, unfortunately, Donald is still dominating the airways or the vibes. He's still gets more posts than the horses, which is unfortunate. And our relationship between South Africa and obviously the States is not very good at the moment. We can only hope that he doesn't put tariffs on the export of the horses. That will be his next plan. And then on the other side, just want to say cheers to my Catholic friends. I'm happy to see that the Pope has been let out of hospital. He's still a bit not well, but we wish him all the best. And I've got a few jokes that I used to tell about the Pope, and I hope you don't mind or take offence. But the grandkids were asking me the other day, what happens when the Pope dies? I says, look, it's okay, another one will pop up. And I think the problem they have at the moment is if he is going to retire, take it a bit easier, that they're looking at a replacement. Now, the replacement appears to be, the favourite would be Cardinal Sikola, the Spanish chap. But then they might have a problem in the Vatican because then we'll have a Pope Sikola. Sorry about that. Bear with me with one more joke about the Pope. It's about the Englishman, the Scotsman, and the Irishman that want to go to the Vatican. Strong Catholics, and they're dying to see him. So they get up early in the morning, taking a trip round the Vatican, and lo and behold, they find the Pope. He's had a heart attack, and he's lying in the corner. So, gee whiz, all hell breaks loose. These aides come over and grab the three of them and say, look, do me a favour. This is highly confidential, has to be a secret. Please keep this to yourself and don't mention a word to anybody because we have to make a big announcement on Monday about this terrible tragedy. So, they hop on the plane and they're on their way home. And the Scotsman says, I think if we go into our bookies, we could probably make a plan and we make a fortune because imagine asking for a bet that the Pope will be dead by Monday. So why don't we go home, do what we can, we'll meet next week and see what happens. So sure as fate, they disappear, they meet each other a week later, and what happens is that the Englishman, how did you get on? He says, fantastic. I went into Ladbrokes, asked for a bet that the Pope would be passed away by Monday, got a fantastic price, made a lot of money, I'm putting an extension on the house, and I'm putting my kids through college. He says, that's fantastic. And the Scotsman, how did you get on? He says, same story. Went into the William Hill's offices, lovely price. He says, there's a good chance I can buy a small castle in Scotland and have it upgraded. I'm sound for life. And they says to Paddy the Irishman, how did you get on? He says, well, I went into Paddy Power, and he says, I got a fantastic price. He says, but I lost. He says, what do you mean you lost, Paddy? That's impossible. He says, he says, I took a double with the Archbishop of Canterbury. Sorry, that's me finish my jokes for the day. So let's talk about a bit of horse racing, because that's what we're really here to discuss. The George, my partner in crime, the Greek, who's had great pleasure in telling me about Greece beating Scotland 3-0 in the last week, and so is Sergio, by the way, getting a lot of flack there. He's off to Port Elizabeth for the weekend, and I'm sure he's going to have a great time. He's going to be racing on at Fairview, and I'm sure Zeetzman, also a good friend, he's going to be under a bit pressure to make sure that George gets his trip paid for. So we wish you all the best, Zeets and George, with your runners on Friday. I'll be keeping an eye out for them. You've always got Fury to beat, but we wish you all the best. And then, of course, the big race meeting is on Saturday. Turfentine, Champions Day. I'm really looking forward to this card. I'm going to attend it. Spoken to Sergio. Unfortunately, he's going to take us through there. Saves a lot of hassle with the driving and what have you. And I started an early thread the other day because World Sports Betting opened esteemed at 16 to 10 on World Sports Betting. It's obviously gone now, but I started the early thread to highlight that. And I look forward to it winning again. It looks very, very special. One thing I want to mention about that horse, these silks are certainly turning out something very special for Devon from Hollywood and his partners, and it's well deserved. And when I was looking at these colours, I thought to myself, I've seen them before in the past. Now, I don't know if you remember Robert Sangster. Most people here are a bit younger than myself, and Molly, as you know, my friend Molly. He'll remember Robert Sangster. He was a big owner in the 60s and the 70s, and he actually won the Derby. He won the Derby with Lester Piggott, the minstrel, and in the Sangster colours. I think actually he also Sangster also won with Golden Fleece. I think it was ridden by Pat Idory at that stage. You'll remind me, Molly. But so anyway, that was a wonderful to see these colours again, and I'm sure they're very lucky silks. And you have the same colours as the famous Robert Sangster. And as far as the rest of the meeting's concerned, I'm hoping that Sergio does well with his horse. I think it's in the second race, Elegantrix. So we'll be cheering that home. It's always good to have friends with runners on the big day. But specifically, I'm not going to go through all these other races because we've got many experts posting on the site with lovely information and details about all the runners. But the race that really captured me is the sprint. The computer form sprint looks fantastic, really. William Robertson's, there's lots of money for the horse, and it is a superstar. Let's be honest, its form is fantastic. I feel that 1,000 metres might be slightly short for that horse. And then, of course, you've got the Peter runners. They'll be flying from the start. Lucky Lad is also one of my favourite horses. It should be flying at the finish. Also, 1,000 metres a bit sharp. And then, of course, not forgetting our good friend John O'Finlayson. He's got Milesh also not out of the race. Might be a bit sharp as well, but I'm expecting a super race, and that's really should be the highlight of the day as far as I'm concerned. Just looking at the card, I mean, you've got the first favourite. It'll obviously be very short. It should win. Probably take the double or the treble with the Hollywood horse and also Joe Somo's horse, Fiery Pegasus. I think, yeah, that should easily win. Main Defender, it can win, but at least we're guaranteed that the parade ring and the winner's circle will be chock-a-block with the Lebanese. If it does win, it'll be a big celebration. Excuse me. I've never spoken for so long in a while. Should have a drink at the side. As far as looking forward to overseas racing, we have the Aintree, the Grand National meeting from Aintree. That's on the 3rd, the 4th and the 5th of April. And we'll have more to follow that, obviously, on the site. And also the big news in Dubai on the 5th of April, there'll be Romantic Warrior and Forever Young running the same night, but unfortunately in different races. So at least you'll have two bankers for your pick sixes. And I also expect a big pick six Turfentine on Saturday, so take tickets on that. I normally finish with a song at the end of my normal, whatever you call this, a podcast or my normal email. And the song this week, which probably keep in line with what Donald's up to from a world point of view, and the song I've chosen is A Change Is Going to Come. Now, we don't know if it's going to be for better or for worse, but it's an old song from Sam Cooke, but the version I've found is by a chap called Charles Yang, and it's superb. So I'm hoping Bob can do a bit of his magic and maybe add it to this video or see what he does on the site. So I'm hoping that this is maybe the first of many podcasts we can involve people from the clan to come and give the proper expert views on who should win and who should lose. So this is my first attempt, just winging it for the first time. My makeup artist hasn't been very good. She says I needed a shave and I must tidy up. The glasses, I'm supposed to be wearing dark glasses. But all the best, guys, and thanks so much for the support, especially from the sponsors that help the site, help us through. And obviously Bob, Nico, the guys that do all the work behind the scenes. And look forward to Saturday and hope to see you. If I'm at the track, come and say hello and let's have a drink together. All the best and good punting.